Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Sabres to the Future. And today we're going to concentrate on goalie prospect Devon Levi, who you all know we acquired. We didn't draft. We acquired in a trade, sending Sam Reinhart to Florida. And now we have to thank Kevin Adams for getting this guy as a toss-in, because it sure looks like it. We're going to look at his numbers, talk a bit about him. Hopes, dreams I have for this guy in the NHL. And I think we got a good one here. I do. Guys, we're pretty, and then we even solidified our goaltending. I mean, we still have Portillo. I mean, does that mean Portillo's leaving because we drafted a goalie this year? I don't know, I don't like to read into things too much. I think Portillo's probably going to be moved, but no. Why, look, we'll know this year. If he's not going to sign with us, we're going to know this year. So, and I will be doing a future episode, of course, on Portillo as well. So let's take a look at Devon Levi. And there he is. This young man lives about, grew up about 5 miles from where I live. He is from DDO in Quebec. That's Dollard des Ormeaux is right down the street. It's right outside of Montreal. A lot of Montreal Canadians actually lived out in that area as well. That's towards the West Island out here. He's born December 27, 2001, 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. He is 20 years old. He will be turning 21 this December, right after Christmas. And as you see, drafted by the Florida Panthers, 212th overall in the 2020 NHL draft. God, how did he not get picked earlier? I'll never understand. Anybody that's seen this guy on Team Canada with half a brain would have drafted. I don't get how he just went all the way. Anyway, let's go to the numbers. Here we are. Okay, so if you look at his career thus far in 2014-15 on the Bantam AAA, he played 12 games, 2.37 goals against average. And then the next year, and in the playoffs, you see 2 games, a 150 goals against average. And then the next year, 19 games played, 226 goals against average, 3 shutouts in that year, though. He had no shutouts the year before. Now, we go a little further down. Now, this is a few years older. He's still a kid, though, mind you. And he plays 23 games, a 269 goals against, 925 save percentage, and wins, losses, and ties 11, 10, and 0. So, that wasn't a very good team, but he had a 925 save percentage. And then in 2017-18, 298 and 927 goals save percentage. Save percentage for me is the key stat most of the time that I check with goalies. And then 2018-2019, a very human 3.10 goals against and a very human 909 save percentage. But let's take a look over at those playoffs. 4 games played, not very good. 353, 877. But the next year, rebounds 212, 942. And the next year, 249 and 937. Now, here we go into the Devon Levi we know in the CCHL at Carleton. 37 games, a 147 goals against, a 941 save percentage, 8 shutouts. Look at his record, folks. 34, 2, and 1. Then this is where he gripped me and where I was basically introduced to him. Was at the juniors. The 7 games played, a 0.75 goals against, a 964 save percentage, 3 shutouts, 6 and 1 in the tournament. And he was just unbelievable, just unbelievable. And then you look down below and you see there's not too much there, not too much other information for tournaments, except the 2019-2020, where he, for Canada East under 19, he had a 286 goals against, 917 save percentage, no shutouts there. Now, guys, I can tell you, with Devon Levi, what sold me was the 7 games I just talked about on Team Canada. The 0.75 goals against average could have easily been, with the opposition that we faced, okay, Canada, it could have easily been 220, 250, his goals against. But he was just stopping everything. Everything. I was so taken back by it, I remember. I was like, my goodness. It was like the best goaltending I honestly seen since Dominic Hasek. It was that good. Small body of work, you know. But if you look at last year, okay, I'll just read it out instead of showing it to you. You know, the Northeastern numbers, guys. The Northeastern, you know, 32 games. Unless I don't remember if I mentioned this. 32 games, 1.54 goals against, because I get caught up with that Canada. 952 save percentage last year, 10 shutouts. I mean, he wants to go back to dominate another year down there. It's not that he doesn't want to play in Buffalo. Who wouldn't want to play with all these good young guys? You know, there's channels out there that make these rumors up, and people from our fan base believe it. You know, we don't have a type of team that nobody wants to play on. We have a stacked team. It's hard to break it now. You got to get through all that young talent to find your way now. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be a competitive camp this year, as we know. And but Devon Levi seems to be the type of young man that all he wants to do is develop. He doesn't really care about being a pro. He knows he's going to be a pro. But when he gets there, he wants to be the best he can be. So for him, it makes sense. And if you look at his history, this guy, he always does what he thinks is right for himself, right? You hear this all over the place. He does what he thinks is right for himself. So he is a smart enough young man to know that instead of going to the Sabres, signing a contract, and going and maybe playing second fiddle to UPL, if UPL's in the minors again this year, he's going to go and he's going to dominate again in college. I mean, it makes total sense to me, and he'll even chase a title maybe. I mean, he's just going to go there and dominate another year, which we know he's going to. We'll keep an eye on Devon Levi this year. We'll be doing some numbers, charts. For those of you new to the channel, just type in on my channel, Devon Levi, and you'll see I've done videos breaking down his numbers on the board. And you'll see, like last year, his pattern, how he would come back. After a loss, this guy, his numbers are insane. After a loss, whenever he's beaten in a game, what I love about Devon Levi, guys, is he always rebounds with like usually a shutout. And it's, hey, look, Kevin Adams is the real genius in all of this. Kevin Adams zeroed in on this kid and said, okay, we're going to make you this deal for Sam, but we want, can you toss in that other young goalie called Devon Levi or Devon Levi or whatever his name is? I could picture Adams like smiling on the phone as he's making the deal. Oh my goodness. So yeah, when we got him, I was familiar with him right away. I remembered. I said, oh my goodness, like I forgot about Devon Levi, right? I just didn't pay attention to him because I didn't even know he was drafted at this point. I said, oh my goodness, right. Team Canada goalie, this guy's crazy. And Florida were smart enough to pick up on him and get him, you know. So Florida had two studs at goaltending, and they sent over, of course, Levi in the deal. And folks, I think this is going to work out. In my heart, I believe this is our Stanley Cup goalie. Just my thoughts. All right, guys, done for this one. See you in the next video. Have a good one.